Good evening and welcome to Monday Night Politics Meet the Candidates, presented by the Dallas Examiner. The Dallas Examiner has presented Monday Night Politics Meet the Candidates for over 12 consecutive years before major elections. Monday Night Politics Meet the Candidates is a series of forums, not debates, but forums designed to inform the community of the qualifications, experiences, and platforms of candidates for elected office. Our sponsors are nonprofit organizations. You can view the forums on www.dallasexaminer.com and Facebook Live. Also, you can view it on the Dallas Examiner app. Tonight, and well, rather for this series of forums, our moderator is Charles O'Neill. Charles is president of the Texas Association of African American Chambers of Commerce. He was the first editor of the Dallas Examiner and was here when my father started the paper in 37 years ago. Again, I want to thank you for attending Monday Night Politics and thank you for your support.
And welcome back to this edition, Monday Night Politics, October 10th. Tonight we have with us candidates for a district judge for the 303rd Judicial District. We have with us a Democratic challenger, Ms. Laditra Atkins.
Yes, sir.
And the current office holder, the incumbent Republican candidate, Judge Rhonda Hunter.
Thank you.
So thank you both for being with us tonight. It never fails that I have this question come to my mind when we're talking to judicial candidates. What do you do? Because people don't know typically unless they have found themselves in the courtroom. So kind of describe to us the function, if you will, of the 303rd District Court. Ms. Atkins, you can start.
Thank you. First, I'd like to just say thank you for allowing me the opportunity to come. I'd like to thank Ms. Belt and the Examiner for having this. I'd like to thank the sponsors, in particular the Divine Nine that are sponsoring. What do they do at the family court? The 303rd is one of 7 family courts. It is going to handle any issues involving the family. So any divorces, any child custody, any adoptions, any domestic violence issues, some of them, not all of them, because some are handled in the criminal court, child welfare. So essentially that judge is going to be sitting there deciding about the lives of children and families.
Okay. That's not it.
You have one.
Just on clip on.
Oh, thank you. I'm Judge Rhonda Hunter. I also want to thank the Dallas Examiner for giving us the opportunity to be here today. The 303rd Family District Court handles child custody, divorce, child protective services cases, adoptions. Every now and then I get to marry people. So it's a good court. We deal with people who are at their emotional worst. They're going through traumatic issues in their lives. Their children are having difficulty. Their property is an issue. And so we see people at their emotional worst. So it's very important for the judge of that court to have an even temperament to be able to help the children and families that come before the court.
Another question that always comes up in my mind again is judicial races in Texas are partisan. So is there some distinction we should infer between a Republican judge and a Democratic judge? Judge Hunter, you go first.
There is no Republican judge on the bench or Democratic judge on the bench when it comes to the people that walk into that courtroom. They want to know that when you walk into that courtroom, there is a judge there that's going to listen to you, that's going to give you an opportunity to speak, that's going to give you a fair hearing. And in family court, especially, people want to be able to have their say. That is what's important in family court. They want you to be able to have the knowledge, the experience, and the wisdom to deal with the issues that they are having. And I believe I have those qualities because I have been practicing family law for 40 years. I'm double board certified in family law and child welfare law. And I have the experience now on the bench of dealing with people with these very difficult emotional issues. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Atkins?
Thank you. I'm very proud to be the Democratic nominee. It is a system that's the system that we have in Texas. This is what I would consider an open bench. Judge Garcia ran for a Court of Appeals and it left her seat vacant. Governor Abbott appointed Judge Hunter. So we can't distinguish ourselves from the fact that she's a Republican and I'm a Democrat. It is real. You know, I don't hide the fact that I'm a Democrat. It's on every item that I put out that I'm a Democrat because I think the public deserves to know. Now, when you get on the bench, do you make decisions based on the fact that you're a Republican or a Democrat? No, you follow the law and you do what's right for families. But I am a Democrat and she is a Republican.
Is there anything that could be termed a typical case that might arrive in your court? You first, and then Judge Hunter. Yes.
I would think a typical case would be a divorce with children. So then you're going to have child support cases. I think you're going to see a variety every single day.
And let me add to that question
Okay.
for both of you as well. Is it critical that matters in your court be decided via jury trial?
I don't know if it's critical. I think it's important that people have the opportunities. Only certain things that a jury can hear that they can decide, right? And then the judge still is going to make some decisions about who sees the kid. But yeah, it's critical that if you want a jury, you have the opportunity to have one.
Okay.
In many cases in family court, litigants have an opportunity to have a jury trial. I love a jury trial. I was a litigator as a lawyer. The 40 years I spent practicing as a lawyer, I had many jury trials, and every litigant is entitled to a jury trial in certain cases in family court. Typical, it's hard to say that there are typical cases because for every individual, their case is unique. And as a judge, you have to see their case as being unique. Unfortunately, many typical cases that we have include child abuse. And that's why I started a docket for high-risk children and individuals. Children who have severe medical issues, severe educational deficiencies, children whose parents have mental health issues, children whose parents have drug issues. I started this docket because I knew I could help these children and families after 40 years of doing this. And we've been very successful in the last year at helping these children. Qualifications matter. And that's why I'm asking people to support me.
Your court is termed a district court. Is it administered the same as other Dallas County courts, or is there some other super governing structure?
The district court is the highest level trial court.
Highest level.
And then you'll have county court at law and justice of the peace courts and county courts.
Okay, so to both of you, this is kind of on the administrative side. Do you find that adequate resources have been allocated to your court to make sure that those resources that you kind of touched on a minute ago are available to assist in the administration of justice in your court? Do you get enough money? Do you have enough resources to do what you need to do?
We never have enough resources to do what we need to do. If I had additional resources, I would help self-represented litigants. I would help people who are where English is not their first language. We have a few things that deal with those people, but we could use more resources in that area because a lot of time in the court is spent dealing with those particular issues. As for the child abuse issues, we could use many more resources, and that's why I started the court for high-risk children and individuals, so that we could work towards getting resources such as counseling for these individuals, things that would help the families stay together.
Okay. Ms. Atkins?
I've never actually seen the budget, but I will say that I think that there is enough money to handle the administrative stuff of the court, but not to help people.
Okay.
And I'll just touch a little bit on what Judge Hunter said. I think you have to reach out into the community and find grants. And for instance, I'd like to start a court for teenage moms that are in CPS. So that there's a organization called the Lullaby House, and I've already talked to the lady about partnering with her, because sometimes it's hard to find a placement for this teenager, let alone her child, and so sometimes they get separated. So I'm saying you have to get out there in the community and find some other resources. So for instance, pro se's, I think they get mistreated in the courts, right? They just walking around trying to figure out what to do. I want to make sure I have an interpreter, make sure I have a special docket set aside for just them. And if I have to get there early to do that, then that's just so be it. But I think at a certain point, I've been practicing 22 years. You can only complain so long. So I have to say, okay, it's my turn. You've been complaining about this for 22 years. Now it's your time to step up. And that's what I plan to do to help them. I'm not gonna wait on any funding.
Okay. Is there anything about what you see currently as a function of the court that compels you to seek the seat? Ms. Atkins first, you, and then Judge Hunter, why you want to stay on the bench there. What is it about that court that makes you think it's your skills that really are necessary?
Well, number one, it was an open bench, right? And so, and then I thought, but now as time has progressed, I've seen things that I'd like to change, or that I feel like I can do better, right? I know that I'm going to be at work every day. I know that if you have a case, I'm going to be there to hear it. I'm not going to make you wait 2 or 3 months to get a ruling on that case. I already just told you about pro se's. They hold a special place in my heart. I spent the better part of my career with child welfare. That's CPS cases, so I want to make sure, like right now, people are just getting off the wheel. They just don't want to do it anymore. And a lot of it comes down to payment. Their bills sit on desks forever. I've been there. I've been taking care of my family on court appointments. So I know it's important for me to sign your bill so that you will give these people effective representation. So I guess that's in a nutshell what I want to change, but that's it. Timely rulings, have a good dismissal docket. For instance, if you look at the courts right now, Judge Hunter is carrying 1,000 more cases than one court. I think 18 months is enough time to turn that around, right? I guarantee the listeners that in 18 months I will have it turned around.
Judge Hunter?
Thank you so much. When I took this appointment 18 months ago, I knew I could have an impact on children and families to a greater extent than I could as a lawyer. I knew that because I have spent 4 decades helping children and families. I am a proven leader. I'm the former president of the Dallas Bar Association, first African American president of the Dallas Bar. I'm former president of the J.L. Turner Legal Association, former president of the Dallas Association of Black Women Attorneys, former chair of the Child Protection Law section of the State Bar of Texas, former chair of the Dallas Bar Association Community Service Fund. I have award-winning programs that I have created that have helped children and families. I started this court, this trauma-informed court, one that you must be trained to learn how to do, because I knew I could help children and families. And in the year that we have had that court, we have helped children and families. In order to continue to help children, I'm not telling you about things I want to do. I'm telling you about things I've done. And I'm asking that you vote for me, keep me on the bench, so that children and families in Dallas County will have the benefit of the programs that I've done in the past and the ones that I will create in the future.
Very good. And so, closing statement. This is your chance to look into the camera, talk to the readers of the Dallas Examiner, the viewers who are online. Tell us why they should Ms. Atkins should be the judge of the 303rd District Court.
Okay, thank you, sir. In closing, again, let me thank Ms. Belt and the Dallas Examiner and all of the sponsors. I have just about myself. I have been practicing law for the last 22 years. I've practiced family law. The majority of that time, I have represented people with nothing, and I've represented people that have a lot. I represented children who have been significantly abused, and then I represented children that are in custody battles with parents with means that they have the money to spend millions of dollars on custody. So I have a vast amount of experience with regard to children and families in Dallas County. I want to talk a little bit about judicial philosophy. And again, I'll tell you that I believe that judges ought to be fair, effective, and efficient. You know, I think that you can't carry 1,000 more cases than another court, because then you're hurting families, right? You can have 17 specialty courts, but if you're not doing the job that the people voted you to do, then you're doing a disservice. Again, I promise you that I will be at work every day, that I will hear your cases, I will have that backlog taken care of, and I will make sure that CPS people get paid, because that's a big deal right now. They need effective representation. And then again, the pro says, I'm going to have a special docket for them if I have to come in early so that we can get it taken care of. Again, thank you. I just, on a personal level, I just like to say that I'm a single parent. I have a 9-year-old daughter. We have a dog. I'm a member of Jack and Jill of America. I'm a member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Judge Hunter.
Qualifications matter. The Dallas Morning News said when they recommended that voters vote for me for this race, they said that the citizens deserve a judge who values education and has a superb knowledge of the law. That is why the Dallas Morning News recommended that voters vote for me in this race. I have helped children and families as a family lawyer, doing probate, representing children as guardian ad litem in civil cases, and real estate title litigation. I have a vast array of experience, and that's what you need in this court. You need to be concerned about children and families, no matter how long it takes for you to deal with their issue, as long as you can resolve their issue. My court is not the court that's at the bottom of the barrel. When I took this job 18 months ago, it was the 7th of 7 courts. And now we have moved up in 4 months. We moved up to number 4. We're doing effective and great things here at the 303rd District Court. And I implore that children and families will suffer if I am not there running these programs. I'm asking for your vote and your support. Judge Rhonda Hunter for 303rd District Court.
Thank you both so much. We have Judge Rhonda Hunter, the Republican. She is current office holder in the incumbent in District 303 Judicial District, and her challenger on the Democratic ticket, Ms. Laditra Atkins. Thank you both so much for being with us tonight. Good luck on the campaign trail. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you, Dallas Examiner.